Hi Matt, here's my Seraph Purelight deck of Aurora Fierce Princess. We're gonna start with the rod line. Pretty obvious, we've been doing Seraph since set 1, so we have Aurora Battle Princess Ruby Red. Her ability says that when roll upon, if you go set and draw a card, like all the standard stars, and then next in the rod line is Aurora Battle Princess Kite Blue. Her ability says, we'll want to be careful because she's only in the ride deck. When placed on Vanguard, so search deck for one prison card and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Then we have Aurora Battle Princess Reset Pink. When placed on Vanguard, your opponent chooses a card from their hand and puts it in your prison. Pretty much, just getting your prison, it'll usually go right away, but sometimes it won't. It helps you stack up. Some cards care about how many cards in prison. It helps get that number at least a little higher if they don't free it. And then last in the deck, which we now run this as one of, which is Aurora Battle Princess Seraph Snow. Her abilities are, first, continuous. During your turn, if you have one more card in your person, she gets 10k. But if there's 3 or more in your person, she gets an extra drive. So pretty much she's a 23k triple drive Vanguard, which is pretty cool. And her Arbo is a Vanguard and Rhaegar Circle, which we don't have extra copies of her, so we can't do the Rhaegar ability anymore. But it kind of gave us something, but not really. When I did use more copies, but it's count +1, choose 2 opponents Rhaegar's imprison them. So pretty much, if that trigger is, you just need one more prison, then you have the triple drive. When on turn, your first way through for now. Time for the big guns. Our new, the Grade 4, Aurora Fierce Princess, Seraph Purelight. What does Seraph Purelight do? She says, when this is placed on Vanguard, so combat +1, and so +1 card with Seraph in its card name. So you can always plus herself or Seraph Snows for the cost. Your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand, 2 cards from their field, and 2 cards from their soul, and imprisons them. So max 6 cards you imprison. That alone is just gets a lot in prison, but when you get to the second blade, continuous during your turn, all your front row units get 5k for every 2 cards in your prison, and if there's 10 or more of those front row units get additional critical. So that's, if you have 10, 25k to your entire front row, and add extra critical. That can alone just win games. And we have a few cards that gain power on plays, or if you want extra more cards in prison, so that can help with that. That's our grade 4. Now time to go to our grade 3s. We only have 2. It's the same card. Aurora Battle Princess Taser Lady. From a Rhaegar Circle, once per turn, if your opponent's rearguard is placed other than from hand, rest that unit. So, if your opponent's superior calls either from prison or other ways, like there are a few card decks that superior call. So, this can help against those decks, and just so the one has less attacks in a way. Unless you're facing a deck that can reset rears, it's really good. And then we run a really good promo for our first grade 2 slot. It took me a while to get, so yeah. Aurora Battle Princess Accused Macaray. Her ability is, when placed from hand, has to be placed from hand, soul +1, and your opponent puts a top card of their deck into their prison. So it's pretty much milling your opponent in a way. Then, if 2 more cards are present upon his prison, she gets 5k for a turn. So she's on place, in prison, top card opponent's deck, and if they already have a card in prison when you use her skill, she's a 15k beater, which is really good. And with Seraph Purelight, that helps get that extra card imprisoned. In the next grade 2, we run 3 algorithms. We're still running her. We run 1 less copy. We may bump. I think I may bump up to back to 4 when Festival Collection comes, but yeah, still not sure yet. First, continuous. There's 2 more hearts in Bond's prison. She's gets 10k shield and plus 5k power. So either 15k shield or 15k attacker. Pretty good, especially like I said, having good beaters. It helps their Purelight turn even more powerful. Their next thing is 4 Aurora Fierce Princess, Cup Spring. Upon prisons a card from their hand, then if they imprison, they draw a card. So pretty much, it's a free imprisonment. That's why it's good. It's good. At least for in this meta. And also, it helps with it, and gives Magri you can potentially do a deck out your opponent faster, which in some practices, in some decks, you can actually win by deck out. Yeah. Okay, those are our grade 2s. Now, time for our grade 1s. First, we have our new card, a Q Aurora Fierce Princess, Suppressed Glimmer. First, continues to revenge with Zeravin's name. She's a 13k booster or beater. Pretty good. It can be attacker or beater. Booster, attacker, so that's good. And then when she's played from her hand, if you have 3 or more cards, if there's 3 more cards in your person, search your deck for another copy of herself and call to rear guard. Pretty much. 1 place from hand. If there's 3 prisoned, search for another copy of her. So that alone, either it's 2 columns with 13k boosters, or you can put them in the same column and be a 26k column, which is actually quite good. Yeah, quite good. It's a really free ability, so that's really good. You have to have 3 imprisonment, but that is not hard in this deck, especially because of Seraph herself imprisons minimum of 2. That whole alone is good. Then we have 4 Hyper Speed Robo Shellstad. Same, we're still running Shellstad. He's just really good at least for now. 2 Combos 1, so plus 1, 1 return act. Choose 1 opponent's rear cards, imprison it as. Oh, and I forgot to mention. She says soul plus 1. When you should play some rear guard to imprison front row rear guard. That helps imprison as well. But he says prison anything, and then 3 more prison, draw a card. And because he's not restricted front row like Ivaruz, you can't even get troublesome back row, and especially because there's a card coming in, and they're just really good cards that are coming. And some decks have Pseudo Resist, so or Give Sign Resist, so that helps get around that in a way. So yeah. Then we run RPG, Twilight Dragon. Pretty much, it's a PG effect, but if you have, after you place it, if you have 1 or less cards in hand, you don't want to discover the cost. Just good, really good PG. Then for our triggers, we of course run our 1 over trigger, which additional effect, double all the power and critical of all your units. Which that on your Purelight turn is crazy. One time I did 2 fronts and this drive check, so you can imagine how scary that got. So yeah, you can really punish her. Then we run four soul crits. Helps with soul. So if you need soul, you can use it. So yeah, but you know because it's antibiotic boosted. Put in the soul. Choose one of yours and gets 2k for it. 2k is not much, but so you don't really use it. But still, it's a trigger with an effect. So that's why we run it over any of the vanilla crits. Over vanilla crits. Then we run another 4 card, which are vanilla. We chose out the one from Tron because it's Aurora Fierce Princess. Goes with the deck. Then we run 3 Cardinal Draco, which are our 20k shield. Front triggers. Front's really helping this deck more than draws, because especially with Purelight keeping power from row, you can actually just get huge numbers. So yeah. Then we get 4 heal triggers. Pretty simple. You need heals. So yeah. I will be placing this with the new heals when they come to it's at 5. But I'm not going to do deck profile what's at 5 besides Stegria when I get so yeah. Then our last card is our prison. Galaxy Center Ring Galacticals. The cost is rest any of your units. So if you're going first, you rest regular, and if you're going second, you want to call a shovel stun most times. But okay, and then what's based on Vanguard? Soul Charge Root. It builds your soul, so that's good. And Warzone, your opponent can. When your opponent would normally call a rear guard, they can perform the following this. So plus 1 to call 1 thing from prison, or call plus 1 to call 2 things from prison. This call is Cow and Superior call, so they can't call higher grades in their Vanguard, so that's what I need to note. So yeah. This is my Seraph Purelight deck promo. Hope you guys like it. Next week I will have my updated Zorga deck. And see you guys next time.